Yeah, miss.
Right, this was the homework. These were the remaining questions from the last lecture with diseases. We already corrected most of them. So we corrected this one already. We did not correct this one here. This one is June 2014, question 1. So let's go through these answers quickly. So first I'll ask any volunteers for number 1, part A. All right, I'm going to do the selection of those who answer now. Let's hear from, okay, the first person on the chat. Alicia Maloney. Either you're typing out the answer or you unmute your mic and read it and give the answer.
Miss, I have an answer.
Okay, go ahead.
It could be transmitted through
Please read
cough,
the question.
human immune deficiency virus, HIV,
Immunodeficiency.
is commonly transmitted via unprotected sex with an infected person. Suggest 2 other ways by which HIV is transmitted.
Answer also.
One at a
From
time.
cuts, like if you touch somebody who has a cut and you didn't like wash your hand and then you go to eat food, that could be transmitted as well.
No.
Miss, blood transfusions.
Blood transfusions.
Or bodily fluids.
Through bodily fluids, through sexual intercourse. Thanks, Alicia. I saw your answer. That's correct. From mother to baby is also correct. Looking for one more answer. Through breast milk. Okay. One other one that's very obvious. You're correct. Infected needles. So the 2 answers you could have had there is blood transfusions and infected needles.
Miss, can I answer part 2 of the question?
Read it first. The first part here.
Oh, okay. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome, AIDS, is caused by a human immunodeficiency virus. The virus affects some cells of the circulatory system. But Miss, I want to answer part 2 of that question.
Go ahead. State 2 signs or symptoms of AIDS.
Okay. 2 signs and symptoms of AIDS is rapid weight loss and recurrent fevers.
That's correct.
Miss, I want to answer the first part.
Go ahead, Sophia.
Oh.
That was Sophia who talked?
No, miss, it's me, Emily.
Oh gosh, sorry. Only have the same voice.
Name the cell that is specifically targeted and destroyed by the human immunodeficiency virus. Miss, the T cell.
T cells, you could also put white blood cells.
Okay.
Moving on. Patsy. Let me select somebody who just sit down there. Who is user? The person with the username user. me. Pertaining to the question, I would like Tristan to answer Patsy.
Both gonorrhea and syphilis are transmitted via unprotected cells with an infected person. Why are these diseases referred to as venereal and AIDS is not referred to as venereal?
By the way, do you all know what venereal means?
No, miss.
Venereal means an STD, meaning a disease that can be transmitted through sexual intercourse.
Okay.
Do you have an answer?
No, miss. I wouldn't.
Anyone has an answer for Patsy?
Miss, I have one.
Sure.
AIDS is not referred to as venereal because it can be transmitted in other ways.
How AIDS is transmitted again?
You don't know? Oh, wait, I thought it was HIV.
Exactly. HIV is transmitted in many ways besides sexual intercourse. Basically, share is when the body fluids come in contact or blood. Now, the thing is, they want to know why both gonorrhea and syphilis are transmitted by unprotected sex with an infected person. Why is disease referred to as venereal and AIDS is not? AIDS is something that is acquired from HIV. So that's the first point you have to write down. Acquired from
Miss, you're breaking up real bad.
I realize this and I have to work with this right now. I don't know if it's because a lot of people using Zoom, because a lot of schools figure out this program. Moving on to the bar graph. Again, send a picture, so I will let you all know if you all got the marks. Part E, the economy of some countries depend heavily on tourism. So just one effect that a high incidence of AIDS would have on these countries. What will happen to the tourism sector if there's a high incidence of AIDS?
People wouldn't want to go.
People will not
there
want to
anymore.
travel there anymore, so it will decrease. Very good. And as a result, it will have a decline in the economy in the particular country. All right, question 6. In the last decade, there has been an increase in the spread of dengue fever in the Caribbean. Name the vector that is responsible for the spread of dengue fever and 2 signs and symptoms of the disease.
Miss, the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
The vector is which mosquito? Yeah, let's say the name of the species.
The Aedes aegypti.
Aedes aegypti.
And the 2 symptoms would be fever and headache.
Fever and headache, good.
Or like nausea.
Nausea, right? Chills, sweating. Part 2. State 2 measures that taken by health authorities and 1 measure taken by households to control the spread of dengue fever. So 2 from the health authority, 1 from the household. We must see who online. Who I pick on? Now the measures taken by the health authority will be different than the measure you will take at home.
I have one for the measures taken in household.
Household, all right. That one easy.
Yeah. I have people using mosquito repellent on their arms and clothes.
Right, so you can use mosquito repellent at home. You can close the windows. You can install mosquito nets. Anybody have mosquito nets? That's a long time thing. You can also install the mesh in the windows, the tiny mesh. But that is kind of prevent breeze and stuff.
No, miss, we have it.
What, the mesh or the net?
We have the mesh in the windows. It doesn't prevent breeze. It's normal.
You could even keep your surroundings like free from breeding grounds. Like for instance, removing any old tire from the yard, open container, cut the grass. So that's household maintenance. Health authorities know what they could do.
Miss, they could spray for mosquitoes.
They could they could have the bomb sprays where they pass around house to house and they bomb out the house. That is one measure. Another one. So I'll give you all a hint. You all made something for you all had a project where you have to design a brochure, right? Now if it is you all made copies of those and give out to the public, and they will be aware and they are more educated about the disease and how it is spread.
Yeah.
Yes, spread awareness.
Right, so health authorities could spread awareness. So they could educate the public, they could have meetings, they can make brochures just like what you all did. They could come on TV. All right, just like what they're doing with the coronavirus. Spread awareness. Treating water containers and tanks periodically. Yes, and one other thing is they could have health inspectors come to your home and investigate if you have any breeding grounds and fine you if you have one, if you have breeding grounds. All right, part B. Malaria has been eliminated or eradicated from most of the territories of the CARICOM. Explain given details of the process, how a visit from one infected person can lead to a fresh outbreak of the disease in a territory. So that is what's going on right now. How a visit from one infected person can lead to a fresh outbreak of the disease in a territory.
Miss, that one person, like, they interact with other people and they're like passing on the disease and it just continues like that.
Excellent. They are in contact with others. They are in large groups. Therefore, the disease can be spread. If they sneeze or cough, chances are the virus will land on someone else and that person will get sick and the whole cycle continues. Causes an outbreak. Last one. Scientists are currently testing a malaria vaccine. Explain how knowledge of passive and active immunity may be used to protect an individual from contracting malaria. In your answer, compare the advantages and disadvantages of the two approaches. 6 marks. So 3 marks for the first part with explaining, and then 3 marks for the advantage and disadvantage. Who did that question? You all remember what is passive and active immunity?
Yeah.
Miss, I have a kind of answer, but I'm not sure how much sense it actually makes.
Let me hear your kind of answer.
Active immunity is when a person has made their own antibodies and memory cells in order to protect themselves against a disease, while passive immunity is if a person has been given antibodies that have been made by another organism. So I'm not
how
sure
would
how
that
to
relate to
add it.
malaria?
If
Now
you
you could actually get the malaria disease and your
from
body
the
would
other
just,
person,
right?
that's all I have.
The definitions you have correct, but it does have to relate it to the question, right? So all you have to say, with active immunity, the person could contract the malaria disease and their body will naturally produce antibodies to fight it off, right? Whereas for passive, they can receive antibodies from someone else who contracted the disease.
Yes, miss.
I will type that answer out. Okay, with reference to active immunity, you'll take it down, eh? Person can contract the malaria disease and their body will produce antibodies, AB's antibodies, to naturally fight against it. Whereas for passive immunity, they can purchase an anti-serum from another person who was able to fight off the disease. Right, so that is the 3 marks there, and then the other 3 marks, they said, in your answer, compare the advantages and disadvantages of the 2 approaches. So the advantages of naturally getting the disease is that you're not using any foreign, you're not injecting yourself with any foreign products. It's your own body naturally fighting it. So let me put advantage for active immunity, right? So no injections or foreign entities being used. Because a lot of people scared of using medications. Huh? Now the disadvantage is only someone who is strong could fight it off. It are people who weak, who immune system weak already and would not be able to fight it off. So the disadvantage, persons who have weak immune system might not be able to naturally fight off the malaria disease. Right? Now moving on to the advantage and disadvantage of passive immunity. So the advantage for passive immunity, it is easy to acquire. You just go to a drugstore and ask for anti-serums to fight malaria disease and you purchase it. Easy to acquire, whereas the disadvantage, it could be costly. So take it down if you all don't have those answers. It's in the chat. All right, so moving on. So enough with the homework now. That was the disease past papers. There was one more question, but I left that one out because it actually falls under nutrition. So I'll get back to that question. You all with me? If you all with me, press 1.
What?
No.
Oh, like that?
Okay.
So are you ready for today's lecture? We're going to look at the environment. Yes, this is the last topic. Now this topic is very long, just like disease. So it will take 2 classes. So by next week, we will finish the entire syllabus, by the way. If I was face to face with you all, we would have ordered pizza or something to celebrate the last topic. So the 31st is where we do the last thing. Now I'm starting it. It's long, but I'm continuing the same topic next week. But Bala always supposed to collect all your food. Also, by the way, In April, we still have classes. So what we have planned to do, you see all them troublesome topics that you all do not understand. So far, some people make orders and they don't say nervous system giving them trouble. So we'll go through those topics that are giving them trouble. Feel free to WhatsApp me the ones that you find is troublesome and you want me to go through it over. All right, so moving on to today's lecture. Let me zoom in. So last week we discussed diseases and its impact on human population. That was section D. Now I have for you all section E of the syllabus, which is the impact of health practices on the environment. So this is what we are going to look at. We're going to look at pollution, what causes it, how to control it. We're looking at the water cycle. That is something you probably learned since Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, even primary school. We're going to look at the method in which you treat or purify water. You are also going to look at a large-scale operation of how, let's say, WASA, how they purify the water and make it safe for us to drink. We're going to look at a way you could test water to see if it has bacteria living in it. We are also going to look at how humans affect the water supplies and why contaminated water is detrimental to human beings. Now, these two other objectives, that will be in next week's class. So we're focusing more on the water aspect of the environment. The hydrosphere, in other words. So first to begin, let's define important things. What is pollution? Now, pollution is when you add something, a contaminant, which will cause harm to the environment. It is not excess of something, it is actually something that is going to cause harm. So it could be in the form of a gas, it could be in the form of a chemical, it could be in the form of a solid. Now, pollutant is the actual substance that causes harm. So if it's a gas, it could be carbon dioxide, it could be carbon monoxide. Those gases, if there's high levels of those particular gases, it can harm the environment. Also, if you have like a lot of styrofoam or plastic, glass in the land, that could also harm the environment and harm other organisms living in the environment. Types of pollution. Now I put these three in red, air, land, and water, because that's the ones that you all have to focus on. Noise pollution is not something that is going to be asked. However, we have different kinds of noise pollution. For instance, loud music, or if you're living in next to a main road, you hear the vehicles, the engines, the loud mufflers. That causes noise pollution. Pollutant emissions. Now this is where the different areas in which harmful substances can be released. Now you can have natural emissions from, let's say, wildfires. Wildfires is when you have trees that are being burnt, large areas of land that is being burned by fires and it's spreading rapidly. Now that will release a lot of carbon dioxide in the air naturally. All right, this is a natural phenomenon, by the way. Also, volcanoes, when they erupt, they will have a lot of gas emissions. However, we have a lot of human activities which contribute to pollutants and pollution. For instance, farming, a lot of animals, their waste can contaminate our waterways. It can enter rivers, streams, lakes, fertilizers as well. which is used for crop production, these fertilizers can end up in our rivers as well. Oil and gas companies, they release a lot of smoke, a lot of gas in the air, and a lot of chemicals. All right, they have other industries here, like power plants, sewage treatment, and don't talk for the traffic. Don't forget the number of vehicles they have on the road and airplanes. By the way, with this whole thing with the pandemic, with everyone being quarantined around the world, you'd realize the amount of pollution is actually decreasing around the world. So maybe it's a good thing. All right, types of water pollutants and their sources. You all hearing me, right? I hope I ain't talking for nothing.
Yes, miss.
Great.
Yeah, Miss, we hearing you.
Types of water pollutants. So these are the things that could cause water pollution and where it comes from. Now, don't feel it's safe to drink water from the tap, because that water have plenty of microorganisms still. It have people who have weak immune system just get sick from drinking water from the tap, especially if you're living in certain areas. It have people when they open the pipe, it brown. So those things will have microorganisms in it. Where does the microorganisms come from? From sewage. You see, sewage could enter your pipelines. Domestic wastewater. Organic waste. Organic waste would be things like onion skin, potato skin. There are a lot of people who dispose of this incorrectly, like they might just throw it in the river. You know, people who go in Cora and stuff, they just cook right in the river and throw away their waste right in the water. Right? Plant nutrients. So farmers like to apply a lot of fertilizers to their crops. And this fertilizer could actually, like when rainfall, it could leach through the soil. It could pass through the soil and eventually could run off in drains and rivers and streams. Heavy metals, right? This is produced from factories. When they're cutting the metal, processing it, it is released a lot of sediments as well. And then we have the word sediment. Sediment could be a range of small particles. It could be dust. It could be like stone. Pesticides are also harmful chemicals which could also enter rivers, lakes, and streams. The list goes on. Types of air pollutants and their sources. Okay, so this is what causes air pollution now. Now you have very fine particulates such as mist, smoke, fume, dust. How these things is formed is from breaking up of rocks and soil. And you also have mist, especially coming from insecticides, smoke from oil, from burning of oil, and well, you have tobacco smoke. And then you have those factories that undergoing chemical processes that has released a lot of smoke into the atmosphere. And then these are the harmful gases. So SO2, I want a chemistry student to tell me what SO3 or SO2 stand for. Any chemistry students here?
Miss, sulfur trioxide, sulfur dioxide.
Very good. Sulfur trioxide and sulfur dioxide. Excellent. And how natural sources is from the decomposition of plants and animals. They release harmful gases like these, and also from volcanic activities. Also burning of fossil fuels. So again, these are other examples. They could ask you, name 2 examples. You could choose any from the table. So air pollutants is mostly like gas, smoke, mist, something that could be transported in the air and is harmful. Right, land pollution now. Now, you have different kinds of waste. You have solid waste, which is like plastic, metal, paper, what else? Glass. Those are man-made substances, and improper disposal techniques such as dumping the waste onto roadsides, in beaches, all of those human activities lead to land pollution. You also have chemicals that can be released directly into the land. Again, it comes from agriculture practices by using herbicides, pesticides, and also from factories. You can have oil spills on land as well, not just into the seas. And with land pollution, it could lead to water pollution. So if rain was to fall and it had like oil or some kind of liquid chemical in the land itself, that could eventually mix with the rainwater and leach through the soil and end up in rivers and lakes. So land pollution could lead to water pollution. Okay, so here's a little activity. We have a picture here showing a lot of waste, different kinds of waste. So I want a volunteer. Let me see who we could pick on. Let me pick on Christian. Identify 5 pollutants that causes land pollution from the picture. So you're using the picture to answer this one. And if Christian don't answer, we have to throw him out of the group.
Miss, can some of us answer?
I don't know who you are, whoever talked there.
I'm Howard.
That was Hawa.
How? Yes, you can answer.
Okay.
How's she answering?
Oh, Miss, you just want us to pick like the items that are like a part of the pollution?
In this picture here, read the question.
Okay, the plastic bottle,
Plastic bottle.
the pink cup thingy next to it.
The what?
Also, the pink cup thing
The
that's
cup.
also
The cup.
Okay, so that's plastic, right? We have the cup,
the tire.
tire. What is these things here? What
That's
I'm
garbage.
circling.
But like they can
Compost.
decompose.
So we have apple. Those are what you call organic waste, eh?
Can't the apples decompose?
Yes, they can decompose. So that's why we call it organic waste. Now, these are not those are not harmful because they actually add nutrients back into the environment. All right, so don't select the organic waste for this one. Select things like the plastic, glass, metal waste. All right. The bicycle is one as well, yeah. The bone. Who think the bone is a pollutant here?
Nah, because it decomposes, right?
It breaks down naturally, yes. Okay. It's what you call biodegradable. All right, moving on to the water cycle, also known as the hydrological cycle. So this is a very nice scenic cycle that I gave you all here. So starting from the ocean, now besides oceans, you have lakes, rivers, streams. You even have water that could be on the roads. Now, when the sun comes out, due to the high temperature, it is going to allow the water to convert into water vapor. That's evaporation. So it rises and then it is stored in the clouds. When it reaches to the cloud level here, it is going to condense, meaning the water vapor is cooling. So water vapor is a gas, and when it condenses, it converts into a liquid. So it turns back into water. Now when the cloud is full with the water, the cloud will turn dark like this one here. And when it turns dark, it is going to release water droplets known as precipitation. Precipitation is rainfall. So the water will return to the earth, to the surface. And if it falls onto these kind of mountains or rooftops, it will just run off the surface, and then it will seep through the little pores into the soil. When it's seeping through tiny pores in the soil, that is called percolation. However, most of the surface runoff will eventually return back into oceans, rivers, streams, and the cycle will just continue. This last one, called transpiration, is when you have water vapor leaving the leaves of the trees. So this is basically evaporation, except it takes place in trees. So that will also convert water into water vapor. And the word infiltration means the water, the rainfall, is actually passing through little spaces, openings, and then it will eventually reach the soil and pass through the soil particles. So that's the water cycle, and I gave you all the a description of each process: evaporation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation, percolation. So how do we purify or treat water? Now this is a treatment setup. It can be used in, for instance, WASA. That is our company. So first to begin, you have to collect the water, right? So you have the water being collected in, now we have reservoirs all around Trinidad and Tobago. So when rainfall, it collects the water. That's the raw water. Now we have to treat that water and make it safe for us to drink. So it's going to pass through a pipe, large pipes, and something called coagulants. Coagulant means to stick. It acts like a glue. So coagulant is going to actually cause little sediments or particles in the water to stick together. Then it's going to flow into our next tank called the flocculation tank. Flocculation is allowing those substances that's stuck to each other to form larger particles. Then it's going on to sedimentation. Those large particles is going to eventually sink to the bottom. So if you just leave the water as it is, the particles will eventually move downwards. Now it's easy now for the water to flow. The water that is on top here will flow through these pipes so that it can pass through a filtration system here. So when it passes through these little tiny pores, this looking like a strainer, it's going to remove any little solids or particles that was left in the water. So that will remove it, strain it, and the clean water here has to be disinfected now. So it goes into a disinfectant tank, and they're going to add chlorine to the water. Chlorine will remove any microorganisms now. So chlorine will remove bacteria, viruses in the water, and then it is distributed to the homes to consume. So here are the steps: coagulation, flocculation, sedimentation, filtration, disinfection. 5 stages. And I actually have a video to show you all about this process. So I'm going to minimize the screen for now. Go into the video. It's on YouTube. So you'll get to see the process visually. If you go to my YouTube channel, all you have to do is click HSB videos in the playlist, and you will see all the videos that I showed in class and I sent on your WhatsApp.
Access to fresh water is one of the largest drivers of creating a modern society. But what allows everyone access to seemingly endless supplies of potable water? It depends on where you live. But chances are behind your tap, there's a municipal water treatment plant. There are two main types of water treatment plants, drinking water or wastewater plants. We'll be focusing in on drinking water plants here, but if you'd like to learn about how
Miss, I don't hear anything.
the water is moved to sedimentation basins.
Sorry about that. So what I will do, I will send you all the video.
Flock particles to begin settling out at a
Miss,
The
we
video
heard.
came back. When you mute your mic, we don't hear the
I
audio.
realize.
adding and mixing these chemicals into the
I
water.
not text up, you like
Letting
all
the water
in.
sit, a large portion of the sediment will settle out to the bottom as sludge, which could be taken away to a landfill or holding facility. The flock particles are ultimately
That's
removed from the bottom
flocculation.
of basins, and the clean water, being the cleanest at the top due to the settling particles, flows over weirs to the next stage in the process. In some plants, engineers actually use dissolved air flotation tanks in place of sedimentation basins. In these cases, air is pumped into the bottom of the tanks, creating a cascade of tiny bubbles. As these bubbles float to the surface, they take flock particles with them, forming a film of flock on the surface of the tanks. Then, a sweeper arm pushes the flock into a collection basin where it's taken to a handling facility. In dissolved air flotation tanks, the clean water is taken from the bottom, where the least amount of flock is. When it comes to designing wastewater treatment plants, engineers will vary techniques based on the water source and how they want their final water to taste, feel, or otherwise be treated. The only regulation is the quality of water being pumped to the city, and in most cases, it doesn't matter how plants get the water to that point, which allows civil engineers a lot of creative freedom in the process. After the majority of solids are removed from the water during coagulation and flocculation, followed by sedimentation, the water flows over weirs to the next step, filtration. The water at this point will start looking clear, but there will still be bacteria and very small suspended solids in the mix. The filtration process will seek to remove the remainder of the suspended solids and bacteria to further bring the water up to snuff. Nearly every potable water treatment plant will use a sand filter for this process. Even in plants where engineers may not think it's needed, often sand filters will be added simply for extra measures to ensure clean water at the end. Sand filters are exactly what they sound like, a basin of fine to coarse sand that filters water. It would theoretically be possible to treat drinking water with only sand filters, but that would result in frequently clogged sand filters, resulting in lower efficiency and more cleaning time. These sand filters can be set up in essentially two
Y'all is
different
going to
ways.
end in
Either the water flows from
1
the bottom
minute,
and exits the
and then I'm
top,
going to
or
start
the water
over the
flows from the
broadcast.
top and exits the bottom. Each layout presents its own set of unique problems, but the most common technique is actually for the water to flow from the bottom to the top. Sand filters aren't highly technical. Water just passes through them and particles get caught as they run out of space to flow through. However, while not highly technical, sand filters are highly efficient. Water flowing out of sand filters will need to have a clarity of around less than 0.3 nephelometric turbidity units, or NTU. Try saying that 3 times fast. Or whatever local code is used for water clarity. This measurement is essentially just a way to determine the number of particles still remaining in the water, or turbidity.
So again, the steps are coagulation, flocculation, sedimentation, filtration, disinfection. Now you can also purify your water at home. Some people do not feel safe drinking water, even though it has been purified from a water company. So what they do, some people will actually, boil their water, fill the bottle with water, close the lid well. Some of them could expose it to actual sun, like you fill a glass bottle with water and you leave it out in the sun. So the UV rays will naturally penetrate the bottle and destroy any microorganisms in it. And you leave it for only 6 hours in direct sunlight. Or you could even add chlorine tablets. You purchase the chlorine tablets from drugstores and you add it to the water. Can anyone think of another way in which you can purify water at home?
Boiling water.
Boiling water, we said that.
Putting out in the sun.
We said that. Something else.
Using a filter.
Using a filter. So install like those Brita filter machines in the sinks or showers, or you could buy the Brita filter jug. Testing water for microorganisms. Now, there are ways you could use to see if the water you are drinking contains any bacteria in it. So first to begin, you have to collect the water sample using a sterile bottle. You want a sterile bottle because you don't want to put the water in a bottle that already contains any microorganisms. That will affect your results. When you collect the water, you're going to take a small sample and place it into a Petri dish. This Petri dish contains something called agar jelly. So that is something that is used to grow microorganisms. Agar jelly contains a lot of nutrients, hormones, and it's the right medium so that it will actually allow anything living in the water to grow. So you leave that into an oven called an incubator. When they say incubate, you're leaving it at a temperature of 37 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. That will allow the microorganisms to multiply and grow. So yeah, you can actually see little colonies of microorganisms forming. So if you're seeing something like this form, that means it has bacteria in the water and it's not safe to drink. Last but not least, we're going to look at local environmental impacts. So human activities, population growth. Population growth can cause the land use to change. It can be used for housing, settlement. It could be used to build highways, malls, commercial buildings. Now, human activities lead to a lot of pollution. So you can have soil pollution, water pollution, or air pollution from human activities. Globalization on a whole, globalization basically involves urbanization, where you have a lot of individuals moving from countryside areas to city areas. Urbanization is because it maybe have more job opportunities, more services. So that is why they move to those urban or city areas. Transportation involves use of vehicles. So it could be plane, train, cars. And those things is release a lot of smoke and air pollutants. So this is just something that's showing how human activities impact the environment. They can impact the soil by causing erosion, causing disruption of the nutrient cycle. Water, it could cause a lot of sediments, surface runoff, contamination of water. So that's just something to look at. The last slide is this picture. So there's a question I will have to ask you all. Why is contamination of water detrimental to human beings? Or for instance, why does contaminated water affect human beings? How could it affect it too?
Because if the water is I can answer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying what I think, miss. First of all, human beings need water because, like, obviously, and like if it's toxic and contaminated, then we wouldn't be able to use it.
Right.
Oh,
You can't drink
and
it.
there are animals in the sea, which we also need.
Very good. So it can actually affect human health by causing diseases. Cholera is one, typhoid is one. All right. It can also cause gastroenteritis. Like, let's say a fly laid eggs in the water or contacted they swam in the water and come back out. It contaminates the water, so it's not safe to drink. Now look at this picture in the background here. You have all kind of solid waste being dumped. You actually have a little whale or a shark, I think. It's getting caught in between this solid waste here. Turtles, fishes, all of those, they can't swim, they get trapped in the waste, and then they eventually die. And we rely on animals, we rely on seafood, fishes as well, for food, so that could also affect us. Now sometimes these fishes could consume oil and waste, chemicals, and then when we buy the fish now, we consume it, our body now will get the effects of the pollution. All right, so some answers: spread of pathogenic disease, high death. This was really high death rate in marine animals. And if marine animals die, it will reduce the amount of food for humans, and that leads to high in humans. Let's share with you all this.
Time to break up again.
Just want to share with you all this link. Sometimes it might come and go, yes? I really don't know how to stop that one. All right, thank you. I think it's all right. This website is showing the number of deaths from dirty water and related diseases around the world. So it's 818,000 individuals that die from dirty water, right? That's for this year alone. So corona killing people, but have other things that killing people too, you know. This here shows the number of the amount of sales in the US for purchasing chemicals. I don't even know what figure this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And it rising, That's the amount of chemicals being purchased. This is in billion or trillion. Tons of hazardous waste thrown out. So globally around the world, you have 91 million plus hazardous materials being discarded. Hazardous material could be like radioactive waste, chemical waste, as well as biohazard waste. Biohazard waste is like blood, dirty syringes, needles. This is the amount of plastic being dumped in oceans, and it's, my God, it even rising as we speak. This is live, So I shared this site with you all. Okay, look at this.
Miss, how does it count it?
How does it count? There are companies around the world that track these things.
Oh, so they just tumble all together.
There are people there are land surveyors, air pollution officers, all kind of different kind of officials that record these kind of things, or they use estimations. So this is another estimation here. The time left until there's more plastic than fish in the ocean. So you have about 29 years again left. And then you will see the seas covered with plastic. You all ever heard about Plastic Island? Plastic Island. They actually have an island that formed from all the dumping of the plastic. Here is it. Let me see. There's a nice, look at this island. So an island formed from all the plastic waste. It just accumulated and formed a little area here in the ocean. Crazy, yeah? So they have 29 years again. Now, you all could reduce the amount of plastic and waste in the oceans. Each person matters. Right, so that is the end of today's topic. Next week, I'm going to continue everything here in this PowerPoint, but I'm stopping at this point. So I will send you all this document next week. Let's move on to the test. By the way, you all could pass in CTS College to collect your notes. The notes was printed for you all.
Miss, the office still open?
The admin office is open, yeah.
Okay.
On the website and on WhatsApp, I made a simpler note so you all don't have to print the slides. Miss, can we get the handout on WhatsApp so we can go through it? This one is printed, it's the same notes. I just added a lot of pictures and stuff in the PowerPoint, but I will send the PowerPoint next week. So this is the same notes here. This was sent already. So far we reach up to here. Okay, so moving to the homework. Let me see how I can share the screen. It worked last time, I didn't understand. I didn't understand that. All right, so one of the homework was learn spelling and descriptions of mitosis and meiosis. Take out a folder page and a pen.
Miss, we're doing a test?
Yeah, we do that test. If you want to cheat, you could go and cheat. You all have to take a picture and send it to me, eh? On WhatsApp.
Okay, Miss, give me a few. I'm gonna go get this stuff, okay?
Yes, I'm giving you all 5 minutes to go and get a pen and pencil. Get folder page. I'm not accepting any Microsoft Word documents. You cannot type this exercise, you have to write it. Let me mute this mic, I'll hear my Bigfoot pack. Okay, are you ready for the test? All those who are ready, raise their hand. Sanjay ready, Emily ready, Sophia ready, Regan ready.
Miss, wait.
Tristan ready. Bala ready. Surrender, go and get your folder page. Come to the rest of you all. Samaya and Surrender. Are you all ready for the test?
Yes, miss.
Okay, great. Number 1. So I'm calling out random phases in mitosis and meiosis. You're getting 1 mark for spelling it correct. And then you have to give 2 descriptions each, but I'm calling out the words. Afterwards, you all will write in your descriptions. Number 1, T low phase. T low phase. Number 2, metaphase. Metaphase. Number 3, cytoplasm. Cytokinesis. Cytokinesis.
Miss, what's the third word?
Cytokinesis. Number 4. Anaphase. Anaphase.
Excuse me, Mr. Could you repeat the fourth word, please?
Anaphase.
Anaphase.
No, I'm not going to type it for you. Who's Momo?
Miss, that's
Marmaduke.
Uh-huh. Next word. Prophase. Last one. Number 6.
Miss, because I wasn't here last week, I'll try my best to do the function.
No problem. Don't forget to take a picture.
Miss, we have to send it as soon as we're done.
As soon as you are finished. I'll give you another 10 minutes.
Okay.
Who want to cheat? We'll let them cheat.
Wait, Miss, there was only 5?
One more.
Oh, okay.
Interphase. Interphase. That is it there. So your 10 minutes starts now. So I expect to get 16 pictures at 3 o'clock.
Miss, you want us
Miss,
to put
your
how many
time's saying
descriptors?
2:59.
That time wrong.
Oh,
It's 2:52. The last word is interphase. The function of VGS. Oh, I forget to tell you. When I send any picture, send it to me privately as a private message on WhatsApp. You don't want the whole group seeing your crap of it handwriting. So far, I got one. Okay, so time is up. So far I get, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 16 people submit.
Miss, wait, I'm about to. Hold on. Oh,
If they don't submit, I'm going to take you off from the chat. Right, I'm going to send feedback to those who sent.
Hi, Miss. I'm doing it now.
Those who already sent messages, you don't have to reveal it to everyone else.
She said 110.
Miss, is yours JB?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of people didn't know how to spell cytokinesis. I would like someone to type in the chat the spelling of the word cytokinesis, please. Right, everyone active, very good. People taking part now. Right, so we will go on a short break. For those who didn't get the descriptions, by the way, Reagan got total. Reagan got total in spelling and description. So what I want you all to do, now we take a break, and for those who still have the descriptions to do, I will allow you all to use your notes. As a matter of fact, I'll put my notes up. So I'm going to put up the screen and with mitosis and meiosis. The words that I call out was for mitosis, by the way. And now read what Sanjay write. Right, the descriptions is right here. So those who finish could take it down. Look at the order. Now the order was not the description, Abala. You're not supposed to put first, second, third. The descriptions is these things here. So you can put it in your own words.
I miss.
And take a break. We will
Zoom in a
return.
little bit.
What's that?
If you could zoom in a little bit.
Some will be cut off, eh?
Okay.
You have this document, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Okay.
Let me just zoom out like this. Right. I think this have everything in it. We will return at 3:45. Actually, no, sorry. 3:30.
But they said 3:45, you know.
3:30. I'll leave in the screen up, eh?
A half an hour break. Wow. Okay.
I gave you all enough time to write down the descriptions of the phases: interphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, cytokinesis. All right. So don't forget to send me a picture of the work. So far, I only received from Alicia the completed version. Very good. A lot of people spelled cytokinesis wrong, eh? So be mindful of that spelling. This is it right here. If you don't know how to put the descriptions in your own words, well, then you could write it from the notes and learn them. Eh? All right, so the last thing we have to do is correct the drug abuse past papers. Exit in this. Let me go to the drugs past papers. We already did a few of them. I think it was the first two. We did not do this one here. Sumaya, just to let you know that what I was trying to say for anaphase, when you said is the fourth phase of mitosis, and when you say the first and second, you have to actually say what happening. You can't just say fourth phase and finish. Now metaphase, you did say third phase, the process that separates. So the rest is correct, you know. It's just for anaphase, you can't just end it by saying it's the fourth phase of mitosis. You have to continue and say something further. Right, so most of you all are sending the completed version. Got it from the two Alicias. Right, so the questions you all are doing right now, well, we are correcting right now is part B, part 1. There are a number of cardiovascular diseases, CVDs, associated with smoking. Discuss how smoking most likely contribute to lung cancer and stroke. Who wants to do that one? Some people still doing the mitosis.
Wait, Miss, you're not gonna do the presentation today?
Yeah, we just have one more question to complete.
Oh,
This question not going to take long. Well, if we had to wait for volunteers, it will take long. How smoking most likely contribute to lung cancer and stroke? Sumaya. Yes, we're waiting.
Miss, you typing.
I know that. Someone else could type the answer as well, huh? And then I will give my answer. I want to get about 3 people answering this, and then I will give my answer. Who's this person? Maury Jin.
That's Mohammed Miss.
Mamadou again.
How much names do you have?
512.
Only one.
2 people. Actually, 1 person missing. It was 16 persons before. Okay, so according to Samaya, she said that chemicals from smoking are transferred into the lungs, into your bloodstream, which changes and damages cells all around your body. Yes, this increases the risk of stroke. Well, the part with the stroke are a little different. The stroke, how smoking contributes to stroke is a different explanation. Anybody else want to answer that? Don't forget to have Google, eh?
Yes, we didn't.
Type your answer. Somebody missing. Nobody else? Next time when you're submitting a test and you're submitting your answers, write your name on the folder page. The smoke contains many chemicals which enter your lung when you inhale it over time. This damages the cells and causes a cancer to develop. The chemicals also enter your bloodstream through the lungs, which cause an increase. Right. So far everybody getting through with the part with lung cancer, but they're not getting the description correct for stroke. So I'm going to send it. Reagan is correct with the stroke explanation. There's less oxygen going to the brain. However, the one for smoking, how it contributes to lung cancer is wrong. I'm typing the message. So that's for lung cancer. Stroke now. Nicotine is another chemical found in tobacco smoke, which hardens the walls of arteries and also increases your heart rate. This can lead to an artery that is transporting blood to the brain to rupture due to high blood pressure, which will lead to stroke. Right, so I also included the answer with how smoking could lead to stroke. Take that down, eh? This is a well-explained answer, which will give you the 6 marks. And then we'll do the last one, last few. Miss, I sent a definition of stroke as well. Scroll up. Emily, cigarettes smoke contain carbon monoxide and nicotine, which when you inhale it reduces the amount of oxygen. Yes, that's correct. Correct as well. That one is full 3 marks. The one what you had for the lung cancer, I'll give you about 2 marks. You have to say tar. You just said many chemicals, so you have to insert the word tar there. Right? So there's 3 reasons why cigarette smoking has become very prevalent among teenagers. So that's a good answer. You have to come with many answers there. That's a social question. Peer pressure, yeah. Depression. One more. Influence from family, okay. Well, stress, very good. So you see the word, so you see stress, peer pressure, and depression. Those are reasons why cigarette smoke became prevalent among teenagers. Sanjay, not addiction. To begin with, they want to know why cigarette smoking is seen amongst teenagers, not addiction. And let Sumaya talk. Okay, we have to do the presentation. So who ready? Which group is ready? Let's get it out anyway. Well, Bala, if they think it look cool, that means they're being influenced by someone, which is peer pressure. Any group who would like to present and get it out anyway? Who? Tristan, yes, curiosity. Sophia, who is your is what happened to Saravana? No, I want 2 of you all to present, not just you alone. So since Emily and Tristan is both on the chat, they can go ahead and get it over with. Since the presentation is recorded, obviously we will have the recording of the groups presenting, so we will play it over to judge.
Miss, you're not gonna pull up the
Okay, let me get the brochure.
brochure.
Which group is this? Herpes?
Herpes.
Yeah.
All right, so all the timing who want to talk first and stuff?
Yeah, miss.
Yeah.
Great. Herpes. So this is the biggest I could get it here. When I have to turn the page, let me know.
Miss, I just want to explain that what is herpes is the cover page and the second page is down below.
I know. So this, what is herpes is the front, and then it's going to fall into 3 parts.
Yeah, and facts will be the second page.
Okay. So
we have a printout.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm waiting for you to talk, and I will just switch it to wherever you reach. After 3, 2, 3.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Emily Bajal Singh.
And my name is Tristan Celestin.
And today we will be informing you about the herpes simplex virus.
Herpes simplex virus appeared in 1713, but herpes was not found to be a virus until the 1940s.
Herpes is one of the most common viruses to affect humans. More than 1 out of every 6 people aged 14 to 49 years have herpes.
Say there are a variety of different types of herpes. The 2 main types of herpes are HSV1, or more commonly known as oral herpes, and HSV2, genital herpes.
HSV1, commonly known as oral herpes, primarily causes cold sores or blisters around the mouth. These typically go within a few days and is very contagious.
HSV2, or genital herpes, is responsible for the outbreaks of blisters around the infected person's genital area. In some cases, it is very painful and very contagious.
Herpes not only comes with unpleasant blisters around the mouth and genitals, but also include common flu symptoms such as fever and headaches.
HSV1 causes fever, sore lips, and itching around the mouth. These symptoms usually display right before an outbreak.
HSV2, however, comes with much more irritating symptoms, such as burning when urinating and trouble urinating, in addition to itching and pain around the genitals. Though in some cases, for either types of herpes, no symptoms are displayed at all.
At the moment, there is no cure to herpes simplex virus. That's why prevention is the key. Nevertheless, there are antibiotics that can be prescribed by your doctor to treat the infection along with proper hygiene care.
In order to keep yourself healthy and herpes-free, avoid physical contact with a person's infected area, have monthly checkups to ensure that everything is normal and that you are healthy.
In conclusion, be safe.
And remember, prevention is key. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Excellent presentation. I'm very proud of you all. And the layout is very clear. And
Thank
this
you,
group
Miss.
is a good example for the rest because they submitted their brochure long before the deadline. And look how clear it is. You could actually go and share this out to adults. This is very good. I like the cover. I like the headings, the facts. One thing right, the statistic is there. They clearly explain what is the difference between the 2, oral herpes, genital herpes. So far I'm liking this one.
Miss, and the actual virus on the cover page is herpes.
Is the herpes virus? Yes. Very good. Next group. So they already got it out of the way now. Who wants to present? Raphael, you could go ahead. Let me get your brochure up. But how would you even speak if you don't have a mic? Reagan, what about your group? I already have it. Like one person win this whole competition. Okay, your mic don't work. Okay, so the ones who might not working, what I want you all to do is send it to me. Send me the recording on WhatsApp. So all groups who mic doesn't work, send me a voice note with the explanation, and next week I'll play it and put up your brochure for the class to follow. All right? Because I could play it aloud, and I just have to put up the brochure on the screen. So the others now, I want to hear. So Hawa. Let me see who submitted again. Right, they already talk. Where's Dominique? Dominique gone? Anyways, well, that's their loss. All right, well, for the homework now, so one group got it out of the way, the rest of the groups will present next week using the, sending me the explanation on WhatsApp. The homework, and I will send on WhatsApp as well. You're going to do these questions. Let me tell you all which one. You're doing question 14. Define the terms pollution, pollutants. Give 3 examples of atmospheric pollutants. And you're also doing question 6 with the water cycle. And lastly, yes, question 6 is from A to C. And that's it. A to C. Bear in mind, we still have a lot of paper ones to go through together as a class. So next week, work with your, have your paper 1 booklet handy as well. So that brings us to the end of the presentation in today's class. I will send you homework on WhatsApp. Again, the PowerPoint presentation will be sent next week because we still have some stuff to complete on this topic. This handout already posted, so you all could go ahead and read through it and use it to answer homework questions. So that's it. I'm going to end the meeting now.